Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and this is the news. Russia's aggression against Ukraine has caused both Finland and Sweden to wish to join NATO in an accelerated process. As a result, debates on each government's accession proposals began today in the parliaments in Helsinki and Stockholm. Finnish Prime Minister Sanna Marin stressed during the opening of a debate in Parliament that joining the North Atlantic Alliance means a guarantee of security in the case of Russian aggression. Promoting a world order based on principles, human rights and peace are the foundations of Finnish foreign policy. In this changed security environment, NATO membership would strengthen Finland's ability to achieve these goals, as well as Finland's international standing. And above all, by joining NATO, Finland would strengthen its own security. The debate on joining NATO has also begun in the Swedish Parliament. Swedish Prime Minister Magdalena Andersson said that the government had decided to make a formal application for membership. The process of joining the alliance should not take more than a year. As non-aligned countries, Sweden and Finland contribute to stability in our region. But that changed when Russia invaded Ukraine. Now it is clear that Finland will seek NATO membership. Sweden and Finland are two countries that make their own security choices. But our history, our security and our future are closely intertwined. If Sweden became the only country not to be a member of NATO, we would be in a very difficult situation. United States Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell announced that the United States Congress will seek to ratify the accession protocols as soon as possible.
With regard to the news of today, I think I'm safe in saying there's strong bipartisan support in the United States for admission of Finland to the world's most successful military alliance. There's never been a more successful military alliance than NATO. Finland brings a lot to the alliance.
The representatives of most countries are in favour of Finland and Sweden joining the alliance.
Their membership in NATO would increase our shared security, demonstrate that NATO's door is open and that aggression does not pay.
I truly hope that these three countries overcome these differences by direct talks among each other and come up with a solution which is satisfying to all the sides.
Meanwhile, Turkey is blocking the two countries' actions, arguing that the Swedish and Finnish governments are supporting militants from the Kurdistan Workers' Party organisation. United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken, after speaking with Turkey's foreign minister in Berlin, expressed confidence that an agreement could be reached.
Here in Berlin, yes, I did have a chance to talk to my Turkish counterpart, the foreign minister. When it comes to Sweden and Finland and their potential accession to NATO, this is a process.
Potential new members must stop supporting terrorist organisations, especially Sweden. Also, restrictions on the defence industry or bans on export licences imposed on an ally like Turkey should definitely be lifted. The Kremlin reacted immediately to the decision by Finland and Sweden. President Putin has warned that Russia will react appropriately to the expansion of NATO military infrastructure on the territory of these countries, and the Russian Foreign Ministry says there will be serious consequences if the balance of power in the region changes. If NATO offensive weapons are deployed in Finland, in close proximity to us, we will strengthen our borders, deploy additional Russian troops on the border. Nothing can threaten Russia's security. But before Finland and Sweden become part of the NATO structure, and their territorial integrity is protected by the famous Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty, the governments in Helsinki and Stockholm are vying for the major non-NATO ally status the Americans give to their most important partners, Israel, Kuwait, South Korea, Japan and Australia, among others. Day 82 of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The drama of the Mariupol defenders continues, with the Russians having attacked the Azovstal plant with phosphorus missiles banned under international law. The Russian troops are also continuing their attacks on the Donbass, but the Ukrainians are successfully repelling them. And in the Kharkiv area, they have managed to push the Russians back across the Russian border. In the morning, the Russians shelled the Odessa area. Rockets hit tourist facilities and a fire broke out. 3 adults and 1 child were injured. Russia has continued its attacks on the damaged and now closed bridge over the Dniester Liman, but has hit civilian residents as a result. Meanwhile, in the Russian-blockaded and bombed Azovstal combine in Mariupol, the situation is critical. We are continuing complicated and difficult negotiations to save our people from the Azovstal plant in Mariupol. We are dealing with this issue every day. The most important thing is the agreements are fulfilled. Today's Russian rocket strikes on the Lviv region, the shelling of Mariupol, Severodonetsk, Lysychansk, the cities and municipalities of the Donetsk region, And the brutality of the occupiers that Ukraine is experiencing every day will only lead to the Russian soldiers who survive to carry this evil back to Russia, because the Russians will retreat. This will put an end to all the feverish Russian military activity we are now seeing. In the Odessa region, a storm tossed 2 Russian naval mines onto the Black Sea shore. They were defused by Ukrainian Navy sappers. Since the beginning of the war, sappers have neutralized more than 108,000 explosives. Through a massive artillery attack, the Russians retreated quickly and did not manage to mine the area. They did not even manage to loot much. In the school, where they had their headquarters, we found TV sets and other equipment stored, as well as ammunition, helmets, bulletproof vests left behind. Since the beginning of the invasion of Ukraine, Russia has already lost nearly 28,000 soldiers, nearly 3,000 armoured fighting vehicles, more than 1,200 tanks and 200 aircraft. Ukrainian forces blew up a railway bridge between Drobizhne and Severodonetsk to prevent the Russians from crossing. The destruction of the dam saved our area, although it flooded a third of the village. The Russians could not cross the river here, so they went further, to Hostomel and Bucha. Today, near the town of Sumy, Russian sabotage and reconnaissance group tried to enter Ukrainian territory. Ukrainian border guards repelled the attack, and the Russians retreated to their territory. The 227th Battalion of the Kharkiv Territorial Defence Brigade reached the border with Russia and placed a Ukrainian border post back there. European Union foreign ministers are seeking a compromise on a 6th package of sanctions against Russia for its invasion of Ukraine. The decision on new sanctions must be unanimous, but there are sceptical countries, among them Hungary, the Czech Republic and Slovakia, whose economies are most heavily dependent on oil from Russia. The adoption of sanctions requires unanimity, but there is a group of countries that are sceptical about them. Ministers are therefore seeking a compromise on the Russian oil embargo. Its imports, which account for 25% of the community's needs, are to be completely halted by the end of the year.
And we'll do our best in order to deblock the situation. I cannot ensure that this is going to happen because the positions are quite strong. But I think that if we understand the particular situations of some member states and all of us make an effort in order to present a united front against Russia, will succeed.
The achievement of the agreement is being torpedoed by Hungary. Admittedly, Prime Minister Orban has given assurances that he will not block sanctions as long as they do not harm his country's economy. Given that 65% of Hungary's demand for oil is from Russia, such a promise seems difficult to fulfill.
And now, unfortunately, we are the whole union is being held hostage by one member state who cannot help us find their consensus.
I think we should seek to hold these talks within the framework of the College, so as not to create a public image of discord. We should know that Russia is watching us. We really cannot allow the option of not completing the package. We have to prepare it properly. We just need to show concrete solidarity as all 27 countries and help those who are suffering the most. The embargo on Russian fuels will undoubtedly complicate the economic situation in Europe and, above all, increase the already high fuel prices. The countries of Central and Eastern Europe are also drawing attention to the need to modernise their fuel infrastructure. It is worth remembering, however, that the dollars and euros sent to Russia are strengthening its military potential and prolonging the barbaric war in Ukraine. 4 people were killed and 1 was injured when a minibus was crushed by 2 trucks on the S5 highway near the town of Niewieszczyn in the Kujawsko-Pomorskie province. At 9:49 a.m. we received a notification of a road accident on the S5 road, which is being rebuilt. Officers stated that 2 cars and 2 lorries were involved in the accident. One of the cars was jammed between 2 lorries. The 4 men travelling in it died. The driver of one of the trucks was taken to hospital for general injuries. That's the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business and more programmes. But from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.